Hello students, today we are going to study about vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is also known as vegetative reproduction. So first we will study about what is vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation or reproduction is a process wherein there is a formation of a new plant from vegetative units. Vegetative units are also known as vegetative propagules. As we have already studied about the term propagules, propagules are that dispersive structures that are released from the parent body. So here we do not have the released structures. So these are the units that are used to form a new plant. These vegetative units are of various types. So some of the examples I have written it here. Vegetative units are like buds, tubers, runners, stolons, leaves, etc. Now coming to the advantage of vegetative propagation, why it is important to have a vegetative propagation, and what all are the benefits if we have the reproduction as vegetative reproduction. So what in vegetative reproduction, we will have a large number of population of clones in the shortest time. Within the short span of time, we can have a large number of population of clones. So here also the population of clones are morphologically identical to that of the parent, as we have got in case of asexual reproduction. Now what all helps in vegetative propagation? It preserves the purity of the parent or the plant. Next, it makes the plant resistant to chemicals or to any kind of an insect, pest. It makes the plant with the good quality, or the races will be of good quality, or the varieties, and we can produce these good quality races or the varieties of crops indefinitely. That means there will be the repeated production of these kind of varieties. This can be done with the help of vegetative propagation. Now another thing which we can have in case of vegetative reproduction is crops that are produced by the vegetative reproductions remains true to their originality and can even to their parent organism, and these organisms, these parent crops have the tendency to mature easily as that of the parent. After this, we are going to study about the types of vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction or propagation are of two types. One is natural means of propagation and another is artificial means of vegetative reproduction. In case of natural means of vegetative reproduction, the vegetative propagules or somatic parts of the plant detaches from the mother plant, and that portion or that propagule is going to develop into a new plant under certain suitable conditions. It can be done by the following ways. That is, the vegetative propagule can maybe root, it can be stem, and it can be leaf. So using all these propagules, we can able to form a new plant. In case of roots, the taproot or the fleshy roots can be used. The stems can be underground stem, subaerial or the creeping stems. Aerial stems or aerial shoots can be used to propagate a new plant, and last is the leaves, which can be used to propagate a new plant. In natural means of vegetative propagation, we are going to study about the first propagule, that is root. There are two types of roots. First is taproot and adventitious roots. So in both the roots, that is taproot and adventitious roots, both the roots are capable to have the vegetative propagation. Now in case of taproot, the plant produces an adventitious buds that will lead to the formation of new plant. These adventitious buds will be referred as vegetative unit. Now this is a plant. In this, at the root system, the roots will have these kind of adventitious buds. These are called as the adventitious buds. Now these adventitious buds will lead to the formation of a new plant. Similarly, in for the taproot, the examples are shisham, guava, poplar tree, etc. Now another root that can lead to the contribution in vegetative propagation is fleshy roots. These are also known as root tubers. In root tubers also there is a formation of adventitious buds, and these adventitious buds will then develop into a new plant. The example of fleshy roots that help or propagate in vegetative propagation are sweet potato, asparagus, dahlia. Now the next vegetative unit or the vegetative part will be the stem. In stem, the stems have been divided into underground stem, subaerial stem and aerial stem. Within the underground stems, the vegetative parts or the vegetative units have been divided into the following, that are tubers, bulbs, corms, rhizomes and suckers. In case of tubers, the buds are formed from their nodes, or we can say that these are the eyes. From these eyes, there is a production of a plantlet which leads to the formation of a new plant when that tuber or that eye is being incorporated into the soil. These are the adventitious buds that are formed. Adventitious buds that are formed on the tuber, that is in case of potato and artichoke. See, these are the adventitious buds that are formed here, and these adventitious buds when are formed on the eyes of the potato, these are then taken out from the body of a potato and planted into the soil and lead to the formation of a new plantlets, or we can say the new plants. Examples are artichoke and potato. Same happens with the artichoke as well. Now next is bulbs. Bulbs are called as underground condensed shoots. In the bulbs there is also the formation of buds inside the bulb. These buds when grows it leads to the production of new plant. It happens in case of garlic and onion, where each bulb is capable of producing a new plant. Next type of underground stem is corms. In corms, these corms are referred as unbranched swollen underground stem which has the circular nodes. For example, in case of colocasia that we call arbi, there are the presence of circular nodes. See, these are the circular nodes. On each node there is a formation of a bud. These buds are then capable of producing a new plantlet or the plant. Therefore, the circular nodes produces buds, and these buds leads to the formation of a plant. Examples are jimicant or colocasia. Next vegetative unit of underground stem is rhizome. It is the main stem that stores the food. During unfavorable condition, it reserves the store food for pollination, and as soon as the favorable condition arrives, these buds that are formed are then results into the formation of aerial shoots. These are the aerial shoots are generally seen in case of ginger or turmeric. It stores food when there is unfavorable condition, and these buds are formed. On arrival of favorable conditions, these buds will lead into the formation of aerial shoots. The last with the vegetative unit of underground stem is suckers. These are the slender underground branches that are formed from the base of aerial shoots. With this, the aerial shoots, there is a formation of new aerial shoot or the crown. We can see it in case of mint. In case of mint, there is a formation of aerial crowns. These aerial crowns will lead to the formation of a aerial shoot, and the mint plant grows like this in a sucker way. Now coming to the next type of vegetative propagation in stem, that is subaerial stems and aerial stems. In subaerial stems, the vegetative units are runners, stolon and offsets. Runners are the narrow green branches that develop at the base of the crown, and these are formed at intervals. When the runners are broken down, these breaking of runners will lead to the formation or helps in the vegetative propagation. For example, in case of grass, this is the example of a grass where the runner is moving, and if it have a crown, another plant of a grass will lead to the formation here. Next is stolon. Stolon is a arced horizontal branch that develops at the base of the crown and helps in vegetative reproduction. This is, for example, in case of strawberry. The last subaerial stem vegetative reproduction is offset. These are the one internode long runners that occur mostly in case of aquatic plants, and the breaking of offsets helps in the vegetative propagation. For example, in case of water hyacinth. Now coming to aerial stems. In aerial stems, each fragment, these are called as nodes, and the distance between the two nodes is called internode. So the segment of each stem can form a new plant. For example, in case of sugarcane, we can propagate sugarcane by planting the each segment of the stem, wherein there is a production of one bud at the node, and these node will lead to the formation of a new plant with the adventitious roots. Next, we will study about leaves, the vegetative propagation using leaves in the next video. Thank you.